hopefully you've done this sample problem, this example, or try this. So let's go ahead and do this one. So remember that you absolutely have to have a slope to do a linear equation. So we use the formula and we say y minus y, so I'm going to do negative 5 minus 5 over x minus a negative 2. So I've got negative 10 over negative 2, which equals 5. And now I've got my m. I need to find b. I'm just going to use this because it's got a positive one. I don't have to deal with two negatives. I use y equals mx plus b. So y is 5. M is also 5. X is negative 2 plus b. So 5 equals negative 10 plus b. I add 10 to both sides, and I get b equals 15. So I have y equals 5x plus 15. So I've got that one there. All right, moving on. Okay, piecewise functions. If you took SM2 here in Utah, you would have gotten these at the beginning of the year in SM2. Piecewise functions we have a specific one that's called step functions. That's why I just threw this picture of steps up there. Plus I thought it was kind of cool. So piecewise functions, in your notes, this is fill in the blank. A piecewise function is a function defined by two or more equations. Now that sounds like a system of equations, so we've got to add this little bit in here. Each piece of the function applies to a different part of its domain. Okay? So let's look at what that looks like. So this is in your book, and this is a piecewise function. So we're just taking a piece of one function and a piece of another, and they can't overlap because if they overlap, then it would not pass the vertical line test. Now these look like they overlap right here at 0, but this one's filled in and this one's open, so they're actually not quite overlapping. All right, so what we have here is we have the line x minus 2, and if we were just looking at that, just x minus 2, this would go on forever in both directions, but we have this inequality here that's telling me that it needs to stop. I only want part of it. So, and that's where x is less than or equal to 0. So this line gets a solid dot for the equal, and it's just this side. Now 2x plus 1, again, if I were to draw out this line completely, okay, it would go all the way through. But I only want where x is positive. Okay, so I have an open circle because there's no equals under here, and that's going to keep going. All right, so I'm actually going to skip this. But let's look at graphing a piecewise function. We're given a line, and we only want this side. X is less than 0, so we only want what's on this side. So I look here, I've got my y-intercept is negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's an open circle because I don't have a line under here. And a negative slope means that it's going to slope this way. So a negative 1 slope goes through like this. Okay, now for the rest of this, I'm just doing y equals x. So, and that's just a 45-degree angle line through the origin. So I give myself a closed circle because I have a negative, or the greater than or equal to, it's not a negative sign, equal to right here. And this is going to go through like this. Okay, so my domain. I have anything I want to put in here. I have all values of x less than 0, 0 is included, and I have all values of x going on forever. So my domain is all real numbers. My range, though, I have a place where it stops. I have a boundary. Okay, I have nothing below here, but I've got all kinds of stuff up here, and it's going on forever. So my range is y. It has to be a y. Y is greater than -4. Now it's not y is greater than or equal to, because this is an open circle. If it was closed, then I would have an equal to here. All right. So I want you to go ahead and try this one. So if you will pause the video right now, that would be great. Okay, so we have x plus 1. And again, if I were just asking you to graph x plus 1, the line, you could do that. All right, we've got our y-intercept, our slope is 1/1 and it's positive. So you would be able to do that. I just, though, want part of the line, half of the line, which is kind of funny because it's like half of infinity, but that's a whole nother thing. So let's graph this line from x on the negative side of it, okay? So my y-intercept is 1, and it's going to be a closed circle. It's a positive slope, so it's going to go up this way, and it's 1. So it comes down like this. Okay, this one, y equals -x, it's negative slope, so it comes down like this. It's a 45-degree angle, and it's open at 0. So this is going to come through like that. And just like the other one, and this is not always the case, but the domain is all real numbers, but the range, okay, this one's opposite than the last one. This time things are going down. So we have y is less than or equal to, because that thing's filled in, less than or equal to 1. All right. Our next problem is going to be the opposite. They're giving us the graph and we need to write the functions, and we will do that in our next video.